Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the new Shadow Crawdaunt in the Open Great League. This Pokemon was insanely squishy prior already, and now it's even squishier, but also does way more damage. We're going to have a team that usually run with Greninja in the back, but today of course you're going to have a different water and dark type Pokemon, and we're going to run Waterfall because I feel like this move is going to benefit most of the added attack basically from the Shadow bonus, because you also have the option to go for Snarl, which is cool to generate energy. But with Waterfall, you're most likely going to be able to farm down certain Pokemon. I would imagine that you're going to have a great matchup against something like a Bastion. And so we're going to take a look here today at this team as well. Say so, Lickitung, yeah, I know I don't really want to play those super crazy bulky meta Pokemon, but Lickitung just really helps us out here, especially because I kinda need to keep my shields alive for my Pokemon in the back. Crawdaunt is literally paper thin, so you kinda need to keep your shields, and so having two very bulky Pokemon around it is kinda necessary in order to win this kind of games here. But yeah, as you're gonna see here, the opponent had enough already after seeing the Crawdaunt, and we can move on to the next one. A Shadow Shiny Victreebel. I will build one as well. I got a really good rank Shiny Shadow variant of this Pokemon as well. But we're going to have our K-Lead here. We're going to have the Victreebel against our Deoxys, but this is one issue for those type of Pokemon that we have here in the back, like the Crawdaunt, as well as just in general the current meta. It's just all of those toxic teams here with like Victreebel, with Bastion, with the Wigglytuff, like literally, I feel like in every set I have like 2 times at least fast move beatdown against me, which is just super annoying to play against, and yeah, I don't know. Here we're going to see at least the matchup of the Lickitung against the opponent's Victreebel. We're going to let this move go through, expecting that they're going to have the Bastion in the back, and yes, they're going to even have the Shadow Bastion. I'm really trying to get currently a Shadow Bastion as well, so I can showcase it. I have enough XL candy for sure, but I just haven't gotten a good IV variant because I don't really want to build something with bad IVs. We're going to be able to go up to 2 Night Slashes here with our Crawdaunt, which is going to be able to get the knockout now. I can even get the knockout against the opponent's Victreebel. Now we have to see what's going to be in the back. And I know already actually at this point of time that we're going to lose this game because, yeah, of course, it's going to be Wigglytuff in the back. And yeah, our backline, especially this entire team, is a little bit tricky against Wigglytuff, which is something that you can expect, but it just, honestly, I don't really like the current meta. It's just so bad to play. We try to go for a Power Whip, doesn't work out, but we can move on to the next one. Another Jellicent in the lead is also a little bit annoying. We already had this in the first battle. This time around I'm going to go for the Psycho Boost just to get some damage onto them, because again, we don't run Snarl, which might be also an interesting moveset as well, which maybe also would work out in those scenarios a little bit better, but we're running Waterfall, which is going to allow us to get way more damage with our fast move. So it's going to be a little bit trickier there, but we're going to get out the opponent's Bastion, which is kind of nice for me, because like this I can go for the Power Whip against the opponent, and this is going to be able to, yeah, gonna get a little bit of damage onto them. We just want to chunk them a little bit so we can swap out later on into our Deoxys and try to farm them down, get a ton of energy there, but let's see what the opponent is going to do here. They're going to let this move go through, and I hope that they're going to throw soon, and they do decide to throw here, which will allow us to let this move go through, and we can still swap out now with our Lickitung, and so we can get some energy here. I can let this move go through. Again, you kind of want to save your shields for your Crawdaunt in the back, and the opponent swaps back into their Jellicent, allowing us to go for another charge move. The Psycho Boost is coming through, is going to be able to connect there as well, going to do some decent damage, and if they don't go for a Shadow Ball, I still should be able to survive a move. They go for the Surf, and so I can even connect with another Psycho Boost against the opponent, which is going to get them a little bit lower, a little bit more into farm down range for our Crawdaunt. So, what we can do now is we can go into our Lickitung, try to catch a move basically from the opponent here, which does work out as well, and now it's down to Crawdaunt against 3 Pokemon. Let's see if we can actually do something here. First shield coming up against the opponent's Jellicent. We're gonna get 3 fast moves in already. We can go for the full farm down now, and we have now 5 fast moves in. The opponent swaps into the Bastion. We can go for the full farm down as well. Now it depends on what they're going to have in the back. It's going to be the Lickitung, and I can go for the Scald from my Crawdaunt. This might be able to get the debuff here against the opponent, and it does, and so Crawdaunt is going to town. We can go for another Night Slash, but it's not over yet. The opponent still has a chance here. You're gonna get the shield from the opponent as well. Can we reach another Night Slash in time though? It's going to be a very tricky matchup for us, because the opponent is going to outspeed us usually, but we're gonna still be able to reach this one, and Crawdaunt just swept an entire team here. What a game this was. Let's move on to the next opponent. Let's see what they're going to run. We're going to have the Deoxys against Annihilape. This is going to be a fairly okay matchup for us. Annihilape is a little bit tricky, I have to say, But we're still going to have Psycho Boost for the opponent, which is kind of nice. I'm just going to go for it straight away here. And we have some lag, but it doesn't really matter because he uses shield anyway. But yeah, this is something that happens quite often to me recently, where I just like have those stutter during the animation from the moves, which is really, really awkward because then I'm never going to be able to get excellent. But as you're gonna see, we're gonna be able to just go ahead and let this move go through here, as the opponent is only going for the Ice Punch. In comes another LilyNiRiain, so it's going to be a matchup that we're not going to be able to win, but we're most likely going to be able to swap out of this matchup fairly soon after the opponent went for like another body slam afterwards, because I can go for one now, the opponent goes for one more now afterwards, and it should be basically time again to swap out then afterwards, hopefully. But I actually can go for my own before, because the switch lock is not up yet. And so we're gonna still try to swap into our Deoxys in time, but let's see what the opponent is going to try to do. They're gonna go for a charge move. I can still easily survive this, so I decide to let this move go through, swap out immediately into my Deoxys and try to get as much energy as possible, because Psycho Boost is good for me, as we will be able to just go ahead and get some more damage onto the opponent. Connecting the Psycho Boost against the LilyNiRiain will allow us to get the knockout if they let this move go through, and they do decide to let this move go through. In comes Annihilape. I will let this move go through as well. It's going to be the Ice Punch. And I'm kind of forced to go back into my LilyNiRiain now because I don't want to get hit by counter. And I still have some energy here. And the opponent is going to have a Bash then in the back. And this is going to be fine, right? Like, we have super effective Waterfall against them now. We still did some damage here already. We have 2 shields left. Like, what is going to go wrong here at this point, right? Like, I can just go for a Night Slash as well. Just trying to get the boost maybe and just farm them down afterwards and get, like, most likely gonna get the shield here, right? I do get the shield, and then I should just get to another Night Slash and knock out the opponent's Annihilape. But they knock me out just before that, just with a smackdown, which is just so annoying because I have a super effective move, the opponent has a neutral move, but apparently that doesn't matter. Well, let's move on to the next matchup. We're going to have Deoxys against Deoxys. My Deoxys IVs are still not really ideal. I hope that we're going to get Deoxys back in raid soon, because I kind of would like to get better IVs for the Great League. Definitely does matter quite a bit for like the Deoxys on what kind of IVs you're going to have. But yeah, at least we're going to be able to hit a Psycho Boost against the opponent's LilyNiRiain, and this should allow us, no matter what the opponent tries to do, to realign our Pokemon, because we got a little bit more damage onto them as the energy that they basically got here. So we're going to be able to go for our own Body Slam, gonna get them a little bit lower. It's going to be a little bit of a slower matchup again here anyway. So it's going to be just Body Slam against Body Slam. It's just like the thing as well with the current Great League meta. I really hope that the meta shifts again for the next season, because I feel like this current meta is not really enjoyable, but I feel like a lot of people feel the same. So hopefully Niantic is doing something. I honestly would like to see some kind of nerf again for like Charm, as well as Razor Leaf, as well as Smackdown. Like, I feel like everybody kind of is sick of this kind of stuff as well, so would appreciate that there might be some kind of small nerf for all of those moves, like maybe one less energy generation for them or whatever. But like, it's just, I don't know, like, it's just really annoying to deal with those Charm Pokemon, those Razor Leaf Pokemon, those Smackdown Pokemon like Bastion right now. I feel like it was okay for the previous seasons at least, but like now it's just like so much RPS. Like, you either encounter those teams or then you encounter something with like Liga, Whiscash, Lantern. It's just, there's no consistency really in the meta, so I feel like it's really, really difficult to climb. Of course, now I'm currently playing Crawdaunt, so like I can't really cry about this, to be fair. But like, even if I play series teams, which you're going to see later on my channel as well again, it's a little bit tricky to, I don't know, climb elo with this. I'm not legend yet either. Like, this is by far, like literally by far, the like latest point where I would be able to hit legend now already, because I always hit legend at this point already in the season, but like this season I didn't. And I feel like it's not only the reason here that I'm like bad at the game all of a sudden. I'm still bad at the game, of course, but I feel like the meta currently is just so bad to play. And I feel like this also kind of influxed basically all the other metas, because basically I feel like one of the biggest issues is just Scald. Like, you basically have a Scald user on every single team, and it's just so annoying to play against. We even play one here, which I don't really think is like a normal Scald user, but like literally in Ultra League you also have like Poliwrath in every second team, and just like lottery the entire time, which just doesn't allow you to have consistent gameplay. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about the meta. What would you want to change for the upcoming season? Let me know down below. Maybe make a video about it as well then, because in February I'm going to have more time to do content creation, so definitely stay tuned for more creative stuff there as well. But yeah, definitely not the happiest with the current meta. We're going to see a Skeledirge coming in here, and honestly this game was amazing. I think this was this game that was really interesting, but let's take a look at this. We're going to see this Psycho Boost coming in. The opponent is going to be able to go for yeah, 2 more first moves. They're basically at 100 energy. I can go for another Psycho Boost. I'm not gonna go into my Water and yeah, Dark-type Pokemon because they have Disarming Voice and they're at 100 energy. And while we do super effective damage with our first move, the opponent still would chunk quite a bit with it. The opponent swaps out into the Cradily, and this game honestly came down to the wire. You're going to really want to enjoy this one here because you can go for the Power Whip against the opponent. This is going to get them a little bit lower. But of course, Cradily is a bulky Pokemon, and Cradily also still has a shield left, and also Cradily is going to have access to Grass Knot, which does way more damage than I expected. And they already have so much energy that they can go for a Rock Slide now, which I'm forced to use a shield. So this game is basically over, right? Like the opponent has a Skeledirge, the Skeledirge has already a move stored. I have a Pokemon in the back that dies to a Disarming Voice as well as to a Grass Knot, but you know what it doesn't die against? Against a Rock Slide. And so we decided to catch a move here, which is amazing because the opponent decides to swap out and go for an extra fast move, which allows us to even get 2 more fast moves in. Gonna get them insanely low with that. Disarming Voice is gonna get the knockout, but we can farm them down with a Lickitung, and thanks to this we can even reach our Power Whip and we can knock them out. I don't know how, but we were able to come back from this and we win this game. Next opponent, we're going to have a decent lead for us, and honestly, this was a game that I definitely misplayed by myself, so we're going to take a look at this one as well. Like, this is the thing as well, I definitely, as soon as I'm going to have a little bit more time, which is going to be at the end of the next week, I'm going to try to go straight up for Legend. Like, I don't really care too much about, like, showcasing, like, crazy fun stuff or whatever. I'm just going to try to hit Legend as fast as possible, because I'm going to have more time to concentrate on battles. But, yeah, great catch by the opponent. I think I make the right call here by going for a little bit more extra fast moves, so I can go for some Psycho Boost later on a little bit faster. But as you can see here, I swapped into my Lickitung, which is going to be able to absorb a Hydro Pump here easily, and so I can go for a Power Whip against the opponent. This is going to be able to connect against them as well, going to get them fairly low, and I'm going to try to go for a Body Slam against them, but it does not work out yet. They can still go for another charge move, and it's actually going to be the Hydro Pump, which is a little bit annoying, because now I'm going to be forced to go into my Crawdaunt to farm them all the way down, but I should be able to farm them down before they can go for another charge move, and hopefully I can still reach a Night Surge against something like the Venusaur, and I expect the Venusaur to come in, and now I see it's not a Venusaur, and I decide to swap out into my Deoxys, and this was a huge mistake. Why did I not just stay in? It does not really make any sense at all why I didn't stay in with my Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt was in a great position there. I would have been able to either get the shield or get like a ton of damage against the opponent's Whiscash. We have like insane attack stat, and now what I'm actually doing is like I end up with my Crawdaunt against the Venusaur, which does not make any sense at all, and like why did I even do this? Like it does not make any sense, and so I completely threw the game here. Don't know why I swapped out against the Whiscash. It is what it is. Let's move on to the next one. Next opponent, we're going to have the core breaker for this team. Charjabug is going to be the worst possible Pokemon to face, but this team, or like this battle, definitely was way closer than you might expect from the beginning, at least here. We're gonna swap out and we're gonna get Hard-Walled immediately again, and this like the thing as well, which I honestly like. This meta is just so bad. It's literally just, yeah, 2 different type of teams. Either you have like those standard meta teams, which are like 3 Pokemon or like 6 or something total, or you have like those fast move beatdown teams, and it's basically the entire meta. And it's just like, honestly, I feel like there was never a worst Great League meta ever, but I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. You can still go for a Power Whip here. The opponent is going to still knock me out here, which is kind of annoying. I can go for the full farm down. I know that my lead matchup was not really ideal, so I decided to let this move go through. It's going to be the Icy Wind, and we can actually knock them out in time, which is kind of cool as they swap out into the Charjabug. I decided to use a shield here, and I decided to go for a Psycho Boost afterwards, as this is going to be able to get a nice amount of damage there. We are of course debuffed, so it's not going to do as much as before. The opponent knows it as well, and they decide to let this go through. And I swap out into my Crawdaunt, and Crawdaunt actually is doing a great job here, because they're gonna go up against the Alolan Sandslash. I can use a shield onto the opponent's Drill Run, and I will be able to farm them down before they can go for another Drill Run, but not before they can go for another charge move here with them. It's going to be the Ice Punch. We can still survive, and now it comes down to a 50% chance here if the Scald is getting a debuff or not to win this game. And of course, we don't get it. And you're gonna see here as well why it's a 50% chance, or like why this actually matters, because we would have easily been able to swipe the extra plus the Volt Switch, and we've got to another move, but not today, I guess. 50% chance was not on my side. Still, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.